fix one from going off, Marshawn. Feels good to be right.
Unlike that time you did that endorsement deal.
No, more like when you self-published that cookbook.
After what you said, yeah, I guess it's hard to know when you're right, but not here. It's just how. It smell weird, but I feel good.
Pick, predict, play. Download today. Get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
One thing I've noticed with football fans is they all talk while the players can actually hear them around you. But when you have Geico Insurance, you'll always be heard.
There you go. That's how you run inside zone.
Hey, thank you, guys.
It feels good to be heard. It feels good to Geico.
picks lineup is going off, Marshawn. Feels good to be right.
Alrighty. I think I need to turn down the music just a little bit. Let's turn the music down just a wee bit. Oh, it's already on. Okay. That should hopefully... Actually... I'm about to blow everybody's ears out. Sorry. That explains why that was not as... Hello? My mic not? Hang on. I gotta go check settings now! Yay! Love it to the new year, and I've already got scuff. Mic volume is at 100%. It's using the wrong microphone! That would explain why, and I just blew everybody's ears out. I'm sorry. Let me turn that down just a little bit. I need to get a new... I need to get a different mic for this. Really? Okay. I need to get a new mic because the freaking dial that's on the bottom of this... I need a different mic with the gain in a different spot. Because the gain is on the bottom and I bump it every single time I move it and it pisses me off. So I have to change it every single time. I need to get a different mic. Maybe I'll get that once I have enough disposable income. But anyway, let's go ahead and move over to the actual stream. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to be doing today. I'm kind of just hanging out because it's New Year's. And I don't have anything else better to do. So thought I'd just go ahead and go live. Do I need to turn down the music at all? I don't think so. I think I can be heard over the music. The issue I have is that the music is very loud on my end because I can hear it too. If you're wondering what the music is from, it's Stream Beats, Demon Instrumental. No, it's their rock album, I think. Yeah, it's the rock instrumental album. I actually need to go ahead and... I'm actually just downloaded the files and playing them locally because I really don't feel like playing them any other way. But how's everybody's New Year's going so far? I assume just about everybody's off of work today. If you have a government job, I know for certain you're off, and you're probably off tomorrow. Maybe. I know Amazon's not working today, thank God. But yeah. So how's everybody's New Year? How has everybody's New Year's going? And does anybody have any New Year's resolutions that they wish to talk about? Right, I forgot about that. For me, I'm not working. Although technically I am contracted, but I can easily go quit my job at any point in time. But I'm not really going to because I just bought a new car. I kind of need the payments right now. Why are you... Great. Hang on, I gotta fix my mic. My mic is being dumb. I haven't used this thing in a week, so that's my issue. I haven't done anything over a week, and really, I didn't even fix anything last week either, so it's not like I really did anything. I didn't really fix anything, which was the problem. So... I'm having a whole bunch of stuff just not work because, one, I didn't fix anything. Luckily, I didn't need to update anything, thank God. Because every single time I end up going with like a whole month of just not streaming, and then I have to like update everything, and I'm like, oh God. Makes me disingenuous on wanting to stream. But that's just a me problem. But today is January 1st. New Year's. Well, I was going to stream yesterday, but I got extremely tired. Like, I tried to take a nap, and then I couldn't take a nap. And then by midnight, well, actually by 10 p.m., I was still awake. And everybody started doing fireworks. And then it didn't stop till like 2 a.m. So I was extremely exhausted. So that did not help. And no, I didn't drink any alcohol last night. I should have, but I might drink some today. Later, when I'm certain that I'm not going to end stream and have to go do something. But I don't think anywhere is actually really open today, so yeah. We might get some day drinking going on. And if you do drink responsibly. I will be drinking responsibly, somewhat. I will not be doing the thing of every single time, if I play a game like Dark Souls or anything like that, I'm not going to do the every single time I die, take a shot. I'm not doing that. That's going to end up with me extremely not able to do anything. And honestly, after the first one, it's going to end up being, I'm going to die more. So we're not going to play that game. That game is a dangerous game, and I'm not playing that game. Okay. I don't really know if I really have anything fully planned. I guess I'll go ahead and start mentioning some things. This year, I am going to try to stream a lot more often. I know last year it was a bit hit or miss, especially when March rolled around. March, April timeframe rolled around when I was effectively looking for a job. But I'm going to try to stream every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. They will be all late in the day. Those will be official days. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So 4 days out of the week. That's just because, and maybe every other Friday, depending. But pretty much I'm going to try to get that situated. And maybe every other Saturday. I'm not 100% certain on the Saturdays just yet. But I'm going to try to stream a lot more hours. No more of this just not feeling up for it because I've been exhausted. I need to just start powering through it and actually getting stuff done and doing stuff like that because I kind of want to just have more content for you guys. Even if it's just me like doing random stuff and like Godot or something like that because of all that other good stuff. But yeah. So hopefully I'll be able to do more of that and we're just gonna hang out. So let me go ahead and I will try to get a schedule out roughly every Wednesday. I should have got one out yesterday and I didn't because I wasn't thinking about it. So I'll probably... Actually, you know what? That's something we can do on stream. That is something we can do on stream. Go ahead and just pull this over. Let's... Please don't do this. Do what? Do what specifically? Make a schedule that I forgot to do. That's all that I forgot to do was forgot to do an actual schedule. You guys won't actually see it. It'll go up on my Discord because it always goes up on my Discord. Let me just go ahead and get the schedule one out because I haven't used this in forever. Let's see here. Yeah. Let's see here. I haven't done a randomizer in a while, but if I do a randomizer, I'm gonna need one that's gonna be short because I can't really do any long ones anymore. Or anything that I let's see here. Start times are gonna have to be roughly the same. Each one. I think we're gonna try I'm gonna try 5 p.m. each day. Each day that I'm actually gonna be streaming. I don't know why I want to actually make the schedule just yet, but we'll see. Actually, just gonna change this to BT to make this easier on myself. Okay. Let's see here. Monday, Tuesday, and we do one for Thursday as well. And then Sunday. I'm actually going to change some things around. Because I'm actually going to have it set up to be similar to... Oh, I just realized that a lot of this isn't actually centered. How annoying. That explains why everything feels off on this. That up. Oops. Alright. So, what should I do for my streams this upcoming week? Oops. I guess this Sunday I'll just, I'll figure out what I'm going to do this Sunday. This Sunday is going to be a weird one. Okay. Honestly, I do not know. Actually, let's do this. Okay, I can't do that. Okay, so we're just gonna delete all of those, delete all of these. And we're just gonna copy. I'm gonna make all the, I need to make all the boxes the same size. Nope. Remember, it's gotta be the same size as the biggest one. But yeah, I'm actually gonna start doing doing that with all of this. Is I want to try to left aligned. But yeah, this way I can actually start getting streaming, doing more streams that I've actually been kind of wanting to do anyway. I just don't know why I haven't really been doing them. I think it's just because I've been exhausted, usually by the time that I get home, and doesn't help when I'm waking up extremely early in the morning too, so that's not helping the situation. So, okay. let's go ahead and get these all set up too. Okay. Okay, so Saturday, Sundays I'm going to stream. I'm going to go ahead and get that time set up. Monday, Tuesday, and then Thursday. Do note that schedules can change based off of some things, but we're going to go ahead and just get this one for next week. I will stream on Sunday. Give me one moment. Well, actually, this is perfect timing because this is for the 3rd through the 9th. So that'll actually come in handy. Alrighty. Let's see here. 4 days out of the week. Hopefully, more than likely by the end of February, the schedule will end up changing, but it'll probably end up being the same. But I'll probably end up having an earlier time instead of a later time. But we'll see. Let's see here. I'm at the point of really I don't know what it is that I want to actually do during streams. But yeah, so this Sunday I will not be streaming tomorrow. Let me just check something real quick. I don't think I'll be streaming tomorrow. Let me just check some things. Because tomorrow is probably going to be a bit of a difficult one. The only reason why I say it's going to be difficult is because tomorrow, I don't know how Amazon's doing, what Amazon's doing for tomorrow, and I know the post office is going to be packed tomorrow, so I'm going to have quite a bit of stuff, and then Saturday, and then I'm working Sunday, and I'm likely working Monday, Tuesday, and probably Wednesday as well next week. I have no clue how much I'm working next week. The schedule didn't go out yesterday, so I'm a bit lost on when I'm actually working, because I wanted to get these schedules out at the same time that I know my schedule, so I can actually make the correct time frames. But if I'm not scheduled for a specific day, I might stream earlier in the day, which means it might be an all day kind of thing instead. Like it will be kind of today. So I do know, usually January 16th, I would probably stream that day because I know I'm off that day. The only issue is that I have a doctor's appointment that day. I'll check it. I'll check it later. What do I want to play? That is the question. Because I really don't know. That is the... Oh, did I pause the music by accident? Oh, I know what happened. It's not on repeat. I forgot to put it on repeat. I'm like, where's the music? And I just realized that the music just ended. That's my fault. So this is the one thing. We might end up just playing a lot of Hollow Knight for now. Until I kind of grasp that full game and I get all the achievements in that game, which I'm actually looking up on how to get some of the achievements because some of them I just don't know. So we might end up just doing some Hollow Knight stuff. Not 100% certain. I am tempted to go ahead and pull up like a guide on Hollow Knight, but I don't really want to do that. I'm really trying to think. There is Metroid Prime 4. You know what? We'll have Mondays be our Metroid days. Do a Hollow Knight on Thursday. On Thursdays. If I had all day, I would have had a, if I was thinking ahead, I would have had a whole day and made a randomizer for myself, but that didn't happen. Really trying to think here. I guess Tuesday we could do like a retro day on Tuesday. Yeah. The only issue is just the time frame here. Because I usually like to do my randomizers in one sitting. So, that's my issue. Sunday could be randomizer Sunday. Well, you could make Sundays a randomizer Sunday. The only issue is I really don't want to do a randomizer and then take a week break from it and then come back to it and figure out what I've done and haven't done. Although I guess that's what a tracker is useful for. I will probably be getting into Hollow Knight here at some point. It might just have to be that I just do some short randomizers for a while until I can actually get back to doing some things. So Hollow Knight, I think we're gonna play. We're gonna have Monday be Metroid. Right now it's gonna be Metroid Prime 4 since that's the new game that came out. But once that changes, I'll probably end up changing Monday to something else. Happy New Year. I just realized that the widget that I've got doesn't actually portray the emotes from YouTube. It does it for Twitch, but it doesn't do it for YouTube. That's weird. Because I have both chats in one. But you're only going to get Twitch's chat, sadly. That's the only one I have set up so far. Let's see here. What do I want to do on Sundays? You know what? I feel like Tuesday we could do like a throwback. No, it's Throwback Thursday, isn't it? When's the throwback day? Is it it's Throwback Thursday, isn't it? Thursday. Although we could probably just do it on Tuesday. Wouldn't change much. Still starts with a T, so just doesn't fall off the tongue as well. We could do Retro Tuesday, which is I find any game that's over 10 years old and play it, which is just going to make me sad. Because there's a lot of games that are now over 10 years old. The other issue is I kind of want to go back and play World at War. I've been kind of having this hankering to play World at War for a while. Like old school World at War. The only issue... Wait, I know where it is. Alright, do I know where my PS3 is? Oh, found it. So, the only issue is I have to set up my PS3. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think I can play it on my PS3. God, I'm going to have no choice but to try to... I'm going to have to get it on Steam, and I'm going to have to mod the crap out of it in order to play it. Because World at War has multiplayer for the campaign. I guess I'll have to... That's going to require me some... That's going to require a little bit of... Yeah, because I know for certain the old COD games are really hard to get into. Are really hard to play right now. Because of hackers in them. Well... It may take me 2 days off. 3 days off. 2 of them being back to back. Let's see here. I guess Sunday we could do a Dark Souls game. Do Souls Sunday. Do Dark Souls or Bloodborne. Or Elden Ring. You know what? We'll do Souls Sunday. And then Tuesday... Tuesday might just end up being the whatever I feel like day. I guess we could do randomizers on Tuesday. That might actually be kind of cool. And I think I'm going to try to keep to this schedule pretty often. And any day that is a day of the week that I usually don't stream something, we'll probably just end up doing like a hangout stream. And then maybe I'll get to some gaming. We'll see. Not 100% sure. Although, I do know for Hollow Knight, playing that game is going to be 100%ing that one is full complete. Let me rephrase that. Full completing that one's going to be the tough one because I actually didn't even do it on the first playthrough. Do on Tuesday. Do we do randomizer Tuesdays? Although that does mean that on Fridays and Saturdays, that does give me time to kind of figure out what we're going to be what I'm actually going to be streaming on Tuesday and on Sunday. Because I think right now we're going to have Hollow Knights on Thursday, Metroid Prime on Monday, and then I think this Sunday we may go back to Dark Souls. Actually, I haven't played Elden Ring in a while. We might actually go back to Elden Ring. I think I've given it enough time, and I can go back to Elden Ring on this Sunday. Let me do this. Let me do that, and then let me can I make a copy of this? Okay. That way I can edit the copy and then delete it after I'm done. And yes, schedules are going to start on Saturday for me because that's when my work schedule starts. So I'm just going to keep it kind of the same. So this, we're going to play some Elden Ring. And I think we're going to go back to an OOT randomizer on Tuesday. I think that'll be good. So... this. Download it as a JPEG. I will go ahead and post this in the schedule. Do I have a schedule? I have an announcement. I think I'm gonna I'm gonna make. Do I have a role for people who want to get? Who just want to get? Okay. I think I've got it set up, and I will go ahead and post the schedule for next week. There we go. Schedule has been posted in Discord. I'm going to go ahead and actually try to get everything going on. Get everything situated again, because I honestly need to start posting things. Oh, yeah. So... And of course, it's going to be one of those things of Blue Sky and Discord are going to be the best places to see these things. So I'm going to go ahead and try to make sure that I'm more consistent on everything. That's the main thing that I've kind of struggled this last year, is that I've really been inconsistent on everything. Streams may not be long. They may only be about 2 to 4 hours long, give or take. So streams will likely be a lot shorter, but hopefully they won't be as infrequent as they have been. But yeah, that's just the main thing. Anything else, though? I just realized. Can't edit this post. Let me delete this post and make a new post. Because I just realized that, oh, well, shouldn't have done that. Damn it. I am an idiot, as usual. Okay. Okay, that should hopefully work out better. Okay. Did forget to do some things. Mainly the like usual fanfare that I usually do, which is Gotta get through some things real quick because I completely forgot to do this. Even though I think most of the people that are in these discords, they actually are in my discord, so they probably already got the notification. Maybe. I have no idea. I think that's it. Hey, Red Mage, how you doing? Hopefully everything's going well. But I've been. That's good. But yeah, new year. So I'm gonna try and keep myself from getting too not too distracted, but too lazy, so to speak. Now that I've been actually doing everything for how long I have, I can now really think about how I'm gonna be doing everything. So now I can and stuff with my yeah. But now that I've actually been working as I have, I'll be able to get some things done, and I actually know roughly about the time that I'm going to get done with work. Hopefully, do note that if the schedule changes, I will post and the announcements on Discord, and I'm going to try to post more on Blue Sky, because I really need to start getting back into the swing of things of just posting like random thoughts probably on there and all that stuff. Try to get some more clips done, try to get some more content done, just trying to be more, I guess, just more around with everything that's going on right now so that I can try and keep this going, because I actually enjoy doing it. It's just that, of course, the main job is to make money, while this one is to, you know, do the things that you want, that I want. This is the hobby right now, and I really hate it that my hobbies are very much getting pounded upon from like all angles, where my work has literally for the last month kept me from really doing anything, except for like on Christmas. I was able to do stuff on Christmas, but yeah, work has been very much a stressful thing, mainly because people have just ordered so much, and we've really had not really a lot of people at work. So, and that's the main problem, is we've kind of run into the problem where our office really needs like 1 or 2 more people in it, and we just don't have the people to sign up. So that's the main thing. Yeah. Well, it also doesn't help that, like, literally as soon as I bought my brand new Jeep, the other one died on me, and I found out it was just a loose connection. But since it's already up at the mechanic, I went ahead and said, just go ahead and replace what needs to be replaced. And then I still haven't heard from them, so I'm going to be driving the new vehicle on the routes right now, which is annoying because I really don't want to do this, but it's better than nothing. I do know that I'm working tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday. I don't know if I'm working Monday. I'm really hopeful that the schedules can start going out on specific dates and they start actually going out instead of what it has been. Oh, I actually just realized I've been talking for over an hour about just everything that's going on. But ad is about to start in about 8 minutes 30 seconds, so don't worry. We will pause the stream for that, and then I think after the ad break we'll actually get into doing some gaming stuff. Maybe. I don't know yet. We might just continue sitting here and talking for a little bit, because I kind of like doing that. Oh yeah. Yeah, but main work has been stressful. Main work is the thing that's been really draining me. This actually doesn't really drain me that much. It just, sometimes I get a little burnt out because I've just been doing it. I did it for too long. long periods of time, but it's not anything like that. But I want to actually get this going and actually try to keep up with you guys and all that, because I've been really neglecting Discord. I've been neglecting Blue Sky. I've been neglecting just pretty much everything, which is the main issue. And I feel bad that I've just kind of like left everything on the wayside instead of actually doing the things that I've wanted to. Especially now that, like, I mean, I still have some games that I want to play, and maybe we'll actually get into some games that I want to play today, but I don't think so, because I know one game I really need like a whole day just to play it. And that's the main thing that I'm kind of running into, is that like some of the games that I want to play are long, and I just need like a full day to get them and play them and actually enjoy them, because that's the main thing. Let's see. Oh yeah. Hopefully everything goes well with everybody today as well. So, but during the ad break, I'll go ahead and get everything ready for everything, and we'll do that. Okay, I thought I had actually disabled Nightbot, but apparently I did not. So we'll have to do that at a different date. I'm gonna remember to do that at some point. Nightbot's not really required when I've got Seribot now. And I already got rid of the Stream Elements bot because I really don't use it, even though I probably should be using it in order to do, but I don't stream enough for like sponsorships and all that, and I'm probably never gonna have a sponsorship on this stream. If I ever have a sponsorship, that just means that I've actually made it enough to where like all that stuff, but it probably won't be anything worthwhile, mainly because I'm just, I don't know. This is a hobby. This isn't meant for me to really make money. It's more of a money sink than a money generator, and I really don't want, if this ever became like my full-time position, I don't know what I'd do. One of those things that I've kind of thought about, and I'm like, I really don't know if I want this to be my full-time position. But we'll see. The only thing is that if it ever actually happens, I'd have to do the math on how much money I would need to make every month. And right now, it's quite high. So I'm kind of hoping that if this does become a thing and anything else, and it makes a little bit of money on the side, then I'd be happy. But even if it makes none, I'm still happy about it. I know money is one thing that a lot of people don't like talking about, but everything revolves around money. Getting a new stream setup, getting a new mic, getting a new anything, it all requires money. And right now I do kind of need a new mic, and that's the main issue that I'm going to be running into, is I need a new mic. Mainly because I just don't like where the gain setting sits, because it sits underneath the mic instead of like as a dial on the back of the mic or on the front of the mic, where I'm not as easily able to bump it, and it's very loose. So I do need to get a new mic at some point. I don't think I need any new headphones. I don't really need anything else new. I just got a new monitor, so I don't need that. I now got a triple monitor set up. I don't really know. It's one of those things that I'm not 100% certain just yet what it is that I'm going to need going on. Model's still nice. I still think... Damn. My brain is not working today. I gotta go to my followers list. So I know it's on there. If it's still on, if he's still using the same name. Actually, I'm in its Discord. What am I doing? I'm in its Discord. Lore. Dragon lore. Still enjoy that. Still great that Lore actually got this all set up for me. He still makes good models. Honestly, I think he has other things going on right now, which makes sense. So yeah. Oh yeah, we'll probably end up discussing a little bit more about stuff. Recent note: I've actually been getting more and more into Warhammer 40k, and getting into its lore, and I'm just realizing just how much difference of lore it is, and and now I understand why a lot of people get into it. Just from like the passing glances of like some lore explanation videos, it does help a lot with all that. So there is that. So hopefully we can get some of that stuff. Just in general, just the lore of Warhammer 40k encompasses the video games and the tabletop. So like, and the books and all that stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, that's gonna be one of those things that like just getting into it is like a daunting task. It's the same as just getting into Warhammer Fantasy 2. So like, technically the video games, at least the Space Marine video games, revolve around Titus, an Ultramarine, a Space Marine a Space Marine and the Ultramarines, which makes sense. Ultramarines have been kind of the poster boys for all space, for all of like Warhammer 40k. Mainly because it's like a good contrast between, like, from what I can tell from the main, well, I guess there's no real main Chaos Marine faction, but they're like the poster boys. Like blue is like the primary color for any like protagonist in many games. Shows that they're supposed to be the quote unquote good guys. Quote good guys unquote. So I realize just how many oh yeah. Well, yeah, we will be back once the ad break is done. Yeah, Warhammer's got some deep lore, but I'll be right back once the ad break is done on Twitch's site. So do not worry, you will not miss anything. Be right back. Alrighty. I am back. So. Yeah. I'll more than likely end up having to end stream and come back. I'll be coming back later today because I completely forgot that I was doing something else today. So that's my own fault for forgetting to check. So that's my bad. So yeah, I'll when I need to go, because I'm going over to somebody's house to celebrate New Year's for a little bit, I'll be back. Trust me, I will be back. I'm not gonna be gone for that long. Maybe about like 2-ish hours, but I'm not gonna be streaming that entire time. So that way you guys can have a break and all that. But I'm not gonna be online. Yeah. So I completely forgot about it too, which is one thing that I completely forgot about. But mainly I'm gonna be hanging out with family mostly. More likely just the in-laws. Ow. Ow. Thanks for the follow. Posture check. I needed that anyway. Thank you. But yeah. Hydrate. Fine. Got a water right here, so we'll drink a little bit of it. Now, why is that 25 points? I thought I set that to 1 point. Oh, well. Actually, I think the 20... I don't remember. I don't remember why I set that to 25 points. I have no idea. I should have set that one to like 1 or 5 or 10 points. Whatever the normal amount is for just watching the stream. I need to go check that after stream. But yeah. So around... like the stream will probably end about an hour. So there's really no point in me... starting a game, so we're just gonna stay in the just chatting stuff. So gaming will officially be later. We'll probably end up playing some Hollow Knight later on today when I come back for stream. So that is what we will do since it is New Year's and all that other stuff. So yeah. And if you're wondering, on Twitch's side, I am also live on YouTube. You can catch about a good 99% of all of my streams that I've done on Twitch. They will also be over there. They will be in the live column because I'm live on both sides. Some of the YouTube stuff will likely go missing, especially if I do anything that's over 12 hours, because YouTube does not like anything that is over 12 hours. So you will likely lose some of that. So anytime that I would do something like a subathon, or, well, I can't even do a subathon right now. I don't have the freaking free time to do it. My main job keeps me from doing anything from like subathons or donation streams or streaming for more than 48 hours, for more than like maybe a day if I'm lucky. So yeah. But yeah, I got schedule will not be up on Twitch anymore, mainly because my schedule is just so erratic. But and also it's a lot harder to edit Twitch's freaking stream schedule than it is to just edit a schedule and post it on Discord. So it will also be on Discord, and it will also be on Blue Sky. So do not think that you will miss anything on both of those. I will do it on both Blue Sky and on Discord. That is where schedules will be going out from now on. Schedules will... anything that has changed, it will be posted on Blue Sky. I guess I could do a YouTube post as well. I guess that would also be technically appropriate. Keep forgetting that I can do posts on YouTube. We'll think about it. Yeah, we'll think about it, because I think I'm just gonna keep it on those two and try not to like forget that if I posted it to something or not. So we're gonna keep it on Blue Sky and on Discord for now. Mainly Discord's gonna probably be the primary place that I post it, and it might go up like a little bit later on Blue Sky. and I will try to make sure that I have the schedules prepared every Wednesday. So, hi, Crested! Happy New Year! Sadly, stream will probably be ending in about an hour because I forgot that I was going to do something today. So, I will be back. I will be back later on today. Pretty much I'm going to go have dinner and then I'm going to come back and we'll get to the gaming stuff officially later because gaming is later. Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be one of those things if I'm going to go over, we're going to probably spend about 2 to 3 hours and I'm going to come back and then I'm going to come right back in and hop right back on stream. Stream will not be on during those times, so if you were followed or anything like that, do check it because that is how you are going to get notified. They will also go back up on Discord, of course. But yeah, while we're here, we were discussing Warhammer, just Warhammer's lore in general before the break, and I completely forgot about it, so we're going to transition back to that. But yeah, the Warhammer's lore, Warhammer 40k specifically's lore is, whoo boy, very deep. So that's been kind of the thing that I've been looking at so far. And it's deep. Like, there is a lot to it, and it's one of those things that, like, 40k probably has a lot more lore attached to it outside of just the tabletop in general than anything else. So there's a lot of books, and it's not just books, it's video games, it's the editions of the game, like all of those just gives so much, and that's just a science fantasy, like, and yes, Warhammer 40k is science fantasy. It is predominantly sci-fi, but when you include demons, it's science fantasy. It's immediately science fantasy, and all that. But yeah, so yeah, schedule did go up on Discord. I remembered that. Schedule went up on Discord. Self-care. Alrighty. I'll make sure to self-care. I am now officially out of water. But yeah. So I will actually probably end stream before the next ad goes out. Let me just see how long. So yeah, I'm gonna stop stream before the next ad goes out because the next ad, I don't want you guys to have to go through that ad and then I immediately end stream because that's just rude to you guys. So we'll end stream. I'll end stream before the next ad goes out, and then I'll get ready, and then I'll hopefully be back in like 2-ish hours, maybe, and then so yeah, the 16th I might still go live, which will be a strange day to actually. I'll have to see if I'm going to go live that day or not. I may not go live that day just because of situations that are going to happen that day. But yeah. Yeah, 40k has a lot of lore. Fantasy also has a lot of lore attached to it too, but I don't think it's as deep as 40k. Because 40k never ended, technically. Like, Games Workshop never officially ended 40k. So, I don't know. Although I'm not 100% certain on what I might do as like New Year's resolutions this year. I think the main one is going to be try to be more adamant on staying on kind of stay online a little bit more. Be more active on places like Blue Sky, the Discord, I probably will never go back to Twitter. I'm sorry, but Twitter is honestly just not really a good place to be right now. I understand for a lot of people, Twitter is like the only place they can think of, but I'm like, in my honest opinion, move away from Twitter. Could go into Tumblr, but Tumblr has been... I don't know. Tumblr is one of those places where, like, to do stuff on it, you have to get some other things situated. So I'm not 100% certain on that. Yeah. So I'm gonna try to get some things situated over there. But yeah, I think being more active in Discord, especially some of the communities I'm already part of, that'll actually help out a lot. Because I've really been kind of bad at neglecting all the communities that I'm a part of. But it's the issue of, like, a lot of the times events just end up happening when I'm working, and I'm like, I can't do anything because if I stay up too late, I still have to wake up for work the next day, and then yeah, I've wanted to do more collabs, but honestly, the time frame is just bad for me. I have to do it later at night now. I'm having to start streams much later at night, so that's going to be the main issue that I'm going to run into probably for a while, is just the inability to do anything because I have to start streams around like 5 p.m. most days. And even then on like Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, I'm really not going to have much of anything to do or anything because I got to work. I'm working most of those days. At least this week I'm working tomorrow. Fridays are also one of those days where if I find out if my schedule changes, I will post an update on what we will be doing on anything, because I really didn't know what my schedule was for the next week. But I do know that I'm working Friday and Saturday, so that's for certain. And the issue is that I would quit my job, but I just bought a new car, so I have no choice but to do the job until that car is paid off. So yeah. I wonder what other other series have a lot of lore in them. One of them is the Metal Gear Solid series, or the Metal Gear series specifically. That one has a lot of lore attached to it. Even in just the 9 games that are technically attached to it, there's a lot of lore attached to it. There's also, Dungeons and Dragons has tons of lore associated with its multiple different campaign settings and worlds. With Forgotten Realms being the most popular, of course, because it's the one that many of the books are technically tailored towards. I mean, that's where you get Tritz the Drow Ranger from. It's where you get... Actually, I think that's the main character that's actually from Forgotten Realms, because technically Mordenkainen and Volo are not part of Forgotten Realms lore. They're just part of D&D's kind of cosmology lore, because if we go all the way back when D&D, not even really D&D first edition, but like just D&D when it was like a module to a different game, it took place in what Gygax called Fantasyland. So like everything took place in Fantasyland, so there was that. And then there's just like the different worlds that people have created out of just in general Dungeons and Dragons. And I have dabbled into world building. I honestly need to probably do more of it as well, just because of how things go when it comes to stuff like that. Because of minor things that come up. Mainly, it's that issue that I've been having recently where I've just not been having the energy to really do a whole lot. And even last night, I was up till like 2 a.m. because fireworks were going off, and I just couldn't sleep. I was tired, and I knew I was tired, but I couldn't get to sleep. I could not get to sleep for some reason. So that was the main hurdle I was suffering this morning from. It's why I kind of went. I was gonna go live at like 6, 7, 8 o'clock, but that didn't happen. I went live only a couple hours ago, an hour and a half ago. So I started going live at 10:30, and then I completely forgot that I was going to be going for a dinner later today. So I'll be back. So there will be that. I will be back later today. Just trying to remember if there was anything else that I'm trying to like think about here. The other things are mainly just my prospects for the new year. I'm really hoping this year is going to be a better one. I will likely be fully working as like a full-time employee, which means that my time, really what all that means is that I'll be working 6 days on a regular basis instead of this like working 4, then working 6, then working 5, and then like working 2 or 3. So I'll be working a lot more come like maybe February. So that'll actually be nice. And then I'll just be one step closer to being full-time, officially full-time. Hopefully nothing really ends up being to where I am not working so much that I can't do things, but I really just can't do things on Saturday until like I actually become full-time. Then I'm able to get Saturdays off again, or try to get Saturdays off or something like that. So, and then I'll hopefully be able to do more on Saturdays, but right now it's just I'm working 5 to 6 days a week right now, and it's been rough. It's been nice on the paycheck, but it's been rougher. It's been rough for my hobbies because I've been working. The last couple of weeks have been, or last month, honestly, has just been me working late nights, late days, where I'm not getting home till pretty late, which is really just an annoyance factor more than anything else. So, yeah. But there is technically there will be another holiday that I'm probably working. And it's probably gonna be I think it's the 12th. I think that's Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and I'm probably working that day, depending on. Yeah, it's the 19th. It's the next week after. Okay. So I'll probably be working the 19th as well, if I remember correctly. So that is, hopefully I'll know my schedule for next week on the 7th. Hopefully I'll actually know my next week's schedule. I already know that I'm working Saturday and Sunday. I just need to know if I'm working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. Because Saturdays have been consistently, I've been working, and Sundays I'm pretty much going to be consistently working right now. So I'm at least working 2 days a week. And it's either going to be Monday or Wednesday that I'm also working. So those days have been consistent. But more than likely, once things show up, I will be working on consistent 6 days. So it's going to be a Saturday through Friday, a Monday through Saturday kind of thing. Even though technically where I work, our weekday doesn't start till Saturday. Don't ask me why it starts on Saturday. Then we have a day off, and then the schedule continues. But yeah. Because literally the next couple of days are going to end up being... excuse me. Or are going to end up being a bit rough. Mainly because right now a lot of people are doing like doing returns. So everybody's doing their returns right now, and everybody's getting some of their stuff from different sections. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Not really sure where to go on from here. But yeah. Want to keep things kind of consistent, and then yeah. So gaming. So I will be doing the game stuff later. That is one thing that will happen. Let's see here. Oh yeah. Yeah, trying to be a little bit more consistent on Discord, and being a little bit more consistent on Blue Sky are going to probably be my main focuses this year. As well as hopefully trying to do a few collabs later down the line. It's going to be one of those things where, like, if anything, I might end up, if I find out that I'm not, if some schedules change, I might end up popping into other people's streams, stuff like that, trying to just hang out with some streamer friends more, because I kind of at least want to do that a little bit more often, and as well hang out with more people, reconnect with some things, because I really haven't had the time to really do anything. So that's the main thing. Keeping myself from getting too burnt out on streaming and on work in general, because I've been trying to get all that stuff done. So yeah. But yeah, I'll be trying to do like end of stream schedule stuff and all that on Blue Sky. Discord will likely not be getting that, just because I don't want to flood the announcements section, even though that's really what it's for. But I will be going live later today. Probably be around, I would say around 4, maybe 5 o'clock is probably when I'm going to go live again today. And then I'm going to go until I feel like stopping stream because of everything that's going on. So yeah, because we're gonna pretty much I'm having more like a lunch / dinner, because it's a little bit later than I usually would eat lunch, so it's gonna be a little bit late for the lunch, and then we're gonna see how things are going from there. Just stop looking at stuff like that. But yeah, hopefully this will be the good thing of New Year, which means we'll be able to get some things, get it going, and get some things situated. I'll be able to start doing more on here. Probably I'll actually get some, and on the days that I'm not actually streaming, I'll probably end up trying to get some coding and development done, and then I'll actually start relearning how to do stuff and trying to actually get my head wrapped around it again, because that has been my major fault, is that I've just not really done anything like that. And I think I'm going to probably start doing that way more often as well. Some weeks I might end up just doing full game dev stuff, where we just start looking at... I start looking at ways of coding things and getting those situated. I don't know on YouTube if that would be under like education, or I might just keep it under gaming for now, because this channel, this channel both on Twitch and on YouTube is primarily going to be like focused around games and gaming and game dev and like all that sort of stuff. Yes, it's probably not going to be the best for everybody, and it's not going to be everybody's liking, but this channel is meant to be for multiple things. Like, it's a channel. It's got to have shows. But yeah, and the live stuff is gonna be my, and I need to get better at actually remembering to speak and remembering to be a semi-entertaining individual, because honestly I don't think I'm that much of an entertaining individual sometimes, especially when I get quiet while I'm trying to think of something. And I just got to get better at rambling. That's the main thing. Rambling has been a hard point for me because it's that thing of keeping your thoughts inside because I tend to ramble to myself in my head rather than actually rambling outside of game. It also gets bad when I'm actually playing a game and I'm focused on it and I just get real quiet and I just forget that stuff like that. I need to actually be vigilant on what I'm doing. I really should have downloaded my first playthrough, my first full playthrough of Hollow Knight. But it's that thing of like, many of my reactions aren't probably as great as some of the other people that are probably more entertaining, especially when it comes to like newer games, just because of how things are and how they're situated right now. So, yeah. But we'll probably get into more stuff this year, especially during some of these like more one-offs. Well, not one-off, but some of these more like longer streams where I'll end up talking about stuff. I'll start having some discussions about things. Probably just some of the hobbies that I actually enjoy. Maybe start talking about some of the campaigns ideas that I've had. Talk about some of the things like different systems that people can play. And all that other stuff. And everything like that. Because there are some things that are very much a difficult process. Campaign ideas, the main thing I struggle, and it's just something I've struggled with mostly, is just how much not streaming, but how much it actually takes to kind of world build and prep for some specific encounters. It's the thing of like, if you're a GM or game master or dungeon master or director, you have to semi-prepare for your players. Like, you actually need to kind of know what your players are optimizing for and what they're doing, because that way you can tailor encounters towards them instead of just making blanket encounters that don't really work that well, especially if you know your players. I know the people that I play with most of the time, and they are very much on the more heavy optimize your character to do a specific thing style of game, instead of what a generally new player would do, which is not optimized, but probably just have a little bit more fun with it and probably be a little bit less optimal, but still having fun. And that's the main thing, is that I tend to make characters that are probably more optimized for specific roles instead of trying to do a blanket, let's be versatile, because versatility kind of doesn't help you in the long run in the system that I play, which is Pathfinder 1st Edition is the main one that I play. And I do have problems with 5th Edition. And I think it's because the reason I have problems with 5th Edition is that I'm so used to the brevity of options, that it turns into this problem of, how do I make a character distinguished from someone else's specific character besides it being a personality difference? such as a mechanical difference. Like, yes, I can have a fighter that's also an Eldritch Knight. I could have a fighter that's a Battle Master. I could have a fighter that's this, a fighter that's that. But those are the archetypes, and those don't come online until 3rd level. But it's that thing of, like, there's clearly... And that's the problem, I guess, is that it was the issue with 2020 with 2014 Warlock was if you were playing a Warlock, you were always taking Eldritch Blast. There was no reason to not take Eldritch Blast. So, and that's the problem that I ran into, was just not being able to not to be able to get away from Eldritch Blast. Now the 2024 one does make things a little bit better. I think some classes were nerfed based off of just how I haven't played it yet, so I don't know how bad it is. Some classes were buffed, some classes were nerfed. Ranger kind of got the short end of the stick, mainly because the Ranger fantasy is kind of just not there anymore, because the style of game really doesn't tailor towards how... It's the style of game that people tend to play that Ranger kind of just doesn't really have a way to fill that role much anymore. And that's probably the issue that people are having. So, yeah. It's probably what it is, if I were to guess. So... Am I correct in that probable assumption? Maybe. I don't know. And it's the same thing as, like, in my honest opinion, Sorcerer and Wizard feel too similar to each other, which is the problem that I have, is that Wizard and Sorcerer feel way too similar in 5th edition, and that might be a part of the problem that I have with it, because in 3.5... and to an extent, Pathfinder 1st Edition, Sorcerer and Wizard were very different from each other. It was the difference of, like... the reason why I'm not really a big fan of Sorcerer is that Sorcerer in 5th Edition has a limited spells known, or spell list. Not spell list, but spells known, spells prepared, whatever it's called. While the Wizard has... can... pretty much know every single spell on their list, given enough time and resources. But a Sorcerer doesn't. And it's the issue that I've kind of had with just how similar they feel, and the thing of, like... I understand what they were going for, because a Sorcerer... And if you look at the progression, a Sorcerer and a Wizard has the exact same amount of spell slots. Yes, I know Sorcerer has this dichotomy of being able to use sorcery points to convert into spell slots, but if you go back and you look at, like, 3.5, and I'm going to state this, in 3.5 the Wizard had way fewer spell slots, quote unquote. They could prepare at most four spells, and you get to cast that spell that was prepared in that slot. So, but Sorcerers got, like, 6 spell slots and that they could use for any spell that they had access to, that they knew for that level. You didn't run into the problem of all that, but also, like, Meta Magic was a feat that you took instead of a feature that you got, and Sorcerers are the only ones that really get Meta Magic. But the system of Meta Magic was different in 3.5, where if you are a spontaneous caster, which was anyone that had a spells known list over a prepared spell list, or if you spontaneously casted your spells, generally if you were a charisma-based caster compared to a int or wisdom-based caster, you would have to use more of your action economy in order to cast the spell with the Meta Magic feat, compared to that with a prepared spellcaster where you could prepare a spell with a Meta Magic feat in that slot. Although there were also ways of getting Meta Magic in older editions, like there were rods of Meta Magic that allowed you to cast the spells without any form of upgrade or any form of cost extra. The only exception to the rule of a spell requiring more actions was the Quicken spell feature, which allows you to... Yeah, for a wizard, what should secondary skill on focus on outside of int? For ability scores? Depends on the edition you're playing. I would say dexterity is probably it should be... So, a wizard typically, you can... It also depends on the build, but we're getting ahead of ourselves here. But a general wizard probably has... I would say dex and con are about equal. You kind of want more con than dex, but this is just like... It really depends on the type of game you're playing and the type of... But the reason why I say dex is because avoiding getting hit is more important than how much HP you have. Mainly because the more you avoid getting hit, that's the more HP you get to save. And dex attributes to AC. Usually. Most of the time. Depending on game. But yeah, a wizard would probably have a high intelligence score and probably, depending on which game you're playing, I would say their second best stat is either dex or con, and then generally charisma and strength are dumped, and wisdom is like third, because usually wizards have an okay wisdom save or will save depending on what game you're playing. But I would say that what do summons go off of? Depends. So in 3.5, well, let me rephrase this. In Pathfinder, you actually didn't want to dump your charisma for a necromancer. For a necromancer, a wizard who specializes in necromancy, because that dictated your channel DC, because channel was based off of charisma. In 3.5, a necromancer didn't get any of that, so you could dump charisma. So no, it's that thing. Necromancers fall into this category of summons can be your bread and butter, but necromancy has, in my honest opinion, it's a weird school because in tabletop, generally necromancy is more powerful than summoning, but it's also more limiting than summoning. At least in first edition, and from what I can tell, it's also a bit more summoning. I think got more limiting in 3 and 5th edition, because there aren't like a lot of summon monster or conjure creatures spells as much. And also Animate Dead got kind of nerfed into the ground, where you can only animate humanoid corpses, if I remember correctly. While in 3.5 and in Pathfinder First Edition, Animate Dead can be used on any corpse, as long as it was a corpse. You couldn't do that to things like Outsiders, or Outsiders that didn't have. You couldn't do it to like anything that didn't leave a body. You couldn't animate the dead with them, which includes a bunch of different creature types and all that other stuff. But necromancers, you still want a high int score, because you want to be able to, well, for a necromancer, if you're more relying on your beasts of burden, let's just call them, to do most of the damage, you probably don't need a high intelligence score. Probably could get away with like a mid intelligence score, and you could go for more like a more defensive focused build, where you use your summons as just beat shields and effectively hit point bags, which is and they soak up hits, which is the one thing that like necromancy and summons kind of do, is that every hit that hits a skeleton or hits a zombie or hits a summoned creature is a hit that did not hit like your primary fighter or your primary cleric or you or your party. So I kind of look at it as like eating singular attacks from monsters works in the case of necromancy and summon based characters, because that's one less hit versus your ally. So that actually does come in handy when learning about all of that. Necromancer, I would say, still wants a high intelligence score. You don't have to go as high. And you probably could also go with a much lower con. And maybe a much lower dex score. And being more like rounded out, but you still want that high intelligence or high wisdom or high charisma, depending on your caster. And it also depends on the type of class too. Necromancy is such a broad category that clerics can do it. In D&D 5th edition, I believe clerics can do it. Wizards can do it. I think druids can also do it with the specific type of archetype. Sorcerers can do it. And I even think warlocks can do it too. So Circle of Sport, yeah, that's what I thought. And the thing is that like necromancy is powerful, but the issue is that in 5th edition, if you're not going up against humanoids, your necromancy spell of Animate Dead is, in my honest opinion, worthless. And that's the issue I have with it. I probably would allow the necromancer to animate things that were not humanoids, because I think it's dumb you can't have zombie tigers or zombie bears or skeletal bears or skeletal owl bears or anything like that. Mainly because, like, in Pathfinder or in 3.5, skeleton and zombie were templates that you could add on top of normal creatures. They weren't just a creature type. They were a template to add to creatures, such as the human skeleton was just a bog standard human from the core rule, from the bestiary, like a commoner human that was given the template of skeleton, which didn't change much. It did give them a little bit higher dex. Actually, it might have been a human warrior that they're technically considered a part of, but I'm not 100% certain on that one. But yeah, there is also my brain is trying to remember, but yeah, but it's why spells that impose penalties to monsters, such as things like displacement or blur, or things that effectively give a mischance or disadvantage to a particular party member, are powerful on party members that already have like really high ACs or are really already hard to hit, is because it then makes them nearly impossible to hit, and that's good. That's on purpose. For things like mirror image, it's always nice to have, because that means that it's a 1 in whatever how many images you have. The die is 1 out of how many ever images you have plus yourself, chances of not getting hit. So there is that, which is nice. So there's not really much that you have to really worry about that. So yeah. And I've always looked at it as in any TTRPG that revolves around combat, soaking up damage, like HP damage, is something that is HP is a resource. The issue is that HP should not be your only resource, especially when fighting monsters, because especially in games like Pathfinder 1st Edition or 3.5, where monsters actually do a nasty amount of damage, to, and do note, in 3.5, Wizards did not have high hit points. Wizards were lucky if they ever got above 10 hit points before 5th level, because you rolled all your hit points. I believe on 1st level you got max, but after that you would roll, and you would also, like, the traditional way of building a character is traditional in the sense of, I think 3.5's default. I'll have Necro Wizard, my summons go take and deal some damage while I do wizard stuff for them. Yeah, like, and that's the thing, is that the reason why you still want a high int is because a Necromancer, just because you summoned or created a bunch of undead, doesn't mean you don't want to throw that fireball, throw that lightning bolt, throw that vampiric touch. I don't know if even vampiric touch exists anymore, but throw that firebolt, throw that my brain's not working. Hang on. I'm trying to think of another common spell. Chain lightning. Yeah, that's a good one. As well as anything else that's just like appropriate for that level or that character. Throw out a buff spell. Throw out a haste. Throw out a protection from. No, that spell doesn't exist anymore. Throw out a shield, a buff spell, a debuff spell, a ray of enfeeblement, an enervation or energy drain. I'm not 100% certain. I'm thinking of spells from Pathfinder First Edition because that's just the one I'm more familiar with. Throw out spells that debuff enemies. Throw out spells that fear enemies. Throw out spells that global invulnerability. Yeah. Make it to where you can't get hit. Make it to where you and your allies can't get hit. Like, let your summons do all the work. Now, your summons may die immediately because they're just skeletons. It's not like they're that powerful. Skeletons aren't really the most powerful creature known to man. But, like, yeah, and it's the thing of, like, I look at D&D as, like, what is the problem that we are trying to solve? And how can we do it with the skill sets that we have? And it's also the thing of, like, allies should, like, and this is the thing of, everybody should, and this is just some GM advice or D&D advice in general, which is something that I'm probably going to end up making in a short at some point. But you need to have a session 0, and you need to discuss the type of game, especially the Dungeon Master or the Game Master, needs to discuss the type of game that you are looking to play. What type of game are you trying to play? What type of game do you want to play? Do you guys want to? Do the players want to, like? If you have a world, great. But what type of game do you want to play? Do you want to play a gritty, realistic game? Do you want to play a game where you track inventory? Do you want to play a game where you have to worry about food, rations, about survival, about what type of enemies are you most commonly going to be fighting? What type of enemies are you going to be mostly fighting later down the line? Those are really important things to know. Especially for classes like Ranger. At least early on. Is spellcasting limited? Are there things in your world that players should know? Are there rules and homebrew rules that you have that you need to give your players access to? Like, are some spells just not available because you don't want them to be in the game? Is dying going to be a common thing? Are making new characters going to be a common thing? Do you need to bring backup characters? If death is going to be common and it's not going to be based around backup characters, what are you going to do with all that? But I'm going to go ahead and call stream here. I'm going to snooze this. I'm going to call stream here. I'm going to find somebody to raid real quick. See if anybody's actually available to raid on Twitch. I don't know if anyone that I'm following... Okay, some people that I'm following are live. Crested just went live, so we're actually just going to go ahead and raid Crested. So, since they just went live, and they're going live with Jurassic World Evolution 3, so we're going to go ahead and raid them real quick. Be friendly to the tour, and everybody have a good day. I will be back! I will be back later today. But I want to go ahead and do this before the next ad starts, so we will go ahead and get this situated and I will be back to discuss more. Yeah, I do too. And I'll be back to discuss more like D&D stuff while I play a game. We'll probably end up playing Hollow Knight, mainly because that game is actually going to be nice. So thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you guys later.